how to choose a recovery method as an athlete. So it all depends on consistency, the one that you will do the most consistently. So it's not sauna, cold exposure, massages, or cupping, or any of that stuff. Well, you can say like, yeah, I do like cold plunges or whatever consistently. Well, are you? Well, I highly doubted that you do them as consistently as sleep, nutrition, and hydration. Because 90% of recovery, if you don't know, is like sleep, nutrition, and hydration. All that other stuff, yeah, it's good when you know what you're doing. When you have these in check, then if you do a cold plunge, you do massages, cupping, and then you focus on that, perfect. You will be recovering as an elite athlete. But chances are that sleep, nutrition, and hydration sucks for you. And other good thing for recovery, but that's really not your job, is good training periodization. So let's discuss these things. So sleep. So sleep is basically the volume and the quality. Because like somebody can sleep 12 hours, but it's not really 12 hours. They're waking up and shit. They can't fall asleep. They don't have enough REM sleep, deep sleep. All the other stuff. They have too much blue light, and so quality and volume. As an athlete, 8 hours is the minimum. 8 hours is not good sleep, but 8 hours is the minimum amount of sleep. So you should be aiming at like 8 plus, so like 9 hours. If you can sleep 9 hours every single day, even when you have to wake up at 5 a.m. and 6 a.m. to go to school or practice, you'll be recovering as a motherfucker. That's a compliment. So, but a lot of times I had like one-to-one calls with my like clients. I ask them about sleep, of course, and they say like, yeah, like 10 hours. But then I ask them like, that's obviously like through the weekends. But what about through the week? Then yeah, suddenly it's around like 8 hours or like 7, because they're going to sleep at around like 10 p.m. Yeah, pretty average, average people at 10 p.m. and then when they wake up like at 6 a.m., like 6:30. Yeah, but through the weekend, it's like, they go to sleep maybe the same time or maybe a bit later, and they can wake up at 9 a.m., But the sleep quality there is just shit. So something that you need to know about sleep, that consistency. You need to go to sleep the same times and wake up the same times. That's something for sleep. If you just sleep one day 7 hours, 6 hours, and the next day 12 hours, it's not just, you balanced it. No, it doesn't work like that. And sleep quality, yeah, that's a complete other topic. So, nutrition is basically, do you have enough macronutrients? Are your macronutrients balanced? Because you need some carbohydrates, proteins, and fats too. And do you have the micronutrient side balanced? So you eat colored stuff. And hydration is volume. Do you drink enough? And electrolytes and sodium. That's more important. They are sweat, salt. So yeah. So that's why it's important. And of course, like health. Do it healthy. It's not just like macronutrients. Yeah, carbs are carbs. So do eat healthy. It's different when I drink, for example, like chocolate milk and shit. Basically, just milk as like an after training for recovery, or you have like some unhealthy protein bar. Most of these protein snacks that you find in the store, it's just complete and utter bullshit. Milk, for example, it's one of the best foods as in terms of protein. It has the best amino acids with eggs. So yeah. And yeah. You will survive without sauna, cold plunge, or like a massage and stuff. You will survive, no problem. Humanity survived without those things for a long, long time. Now, try it with sleep, nutrition, and hydration. If you eat shit for a week, your performance will plummet down. If you sleep shit, same thing. Hydration, same thing. So if you don't do like a cold plunge, you will survive and shit. Of course, like you can do it, but that's the essentials. Those are the three stuff. I didn't include oxygen, because you breathe. I don't think I need to talk about breathing. Like, yeah, like breathe into your stomach and stuff, but no. And yeah, that's it. This is how you choose your recovery method. Basically, nutrition, hydration, and sleep. If you got those in check, then you can work on the other stuff. Most people overlook that stuff because it's quite boring. So you are telling me that if I have like a protein shake and some carbs after training, that I will recover more than I would go to like a cold plunge or sauna. Yeah, basically that's what I'm saying. If you keep your nutrition in check, sleep and hydration in check, you will outperform everybody who's like paying $500 on or like other external recovery. Because if you do like a cold plunge sauna, that's kind of like external. But if you eat, drink, and sleep, that's like internal recovery. So that's something your body had always. So yeah, this is everything. Have a nice rest of your day.